Imagine spending the next 10 years becoming smarter. You read dozens of books every year. You listen to podcasts on your commute. You watch hours of educational videos. You learn the latest AI tools, save hundreds of articles, highlight your favorite quotes, and fill notebooks with brilliant ideas. From the outside, it looks like you're making constant progress. But one day, you pause and ask yourself a difficult question. Has my life actually changed? For many people, the honest answer is no. Despite all the learning, the books, the courses, and the endless information, their income hasn't grown much, their freedom hasn't increased, and they still feel like they're starting over every Monday. This is one of the most expensive mistakes intelligent people make. They confuse learning with building. They mistake collecting knowledge for creating value. The modern world rewards curiosity, but it rewards execution even more. Learning feels productive because it is comfortable. Every new idea gives us a small burst of satisfaction. Every saved article feels like an investment in our future. Every completed course makes us believe we're one step closer to success. But knowledge has a hidden problem. Until it is transformed into something useful, it remains potential, not value. Potential doesn't change your life. Action does. Think about two people. The first person spends 5 years consuming information. They read 100 books, complete dozens of online courses, subscribe to every productivity newsletter, and always know the latest trends. They can explain countless concepts, recommend great books, and discuss ideas for hours. The second person reads far less. They discover one meaningful idea, write an article explaining it in their own words, turn that article into a short video, record a podcast discussing it, organize the insights into a practical guide, and eventually transform everything into a small digital product that helps other people. Then they repeat the process again and again. 5 years later, who has built more value? The answer isn't determined by intelligence. It's determined by creation. This is the principle of compounding, and it extends far beyond money. We usually associate compounding with investing, where small gains accumulate into remarkable wealth over time. But the same principle applies to almost every meaningful part of life. Skills compound when they are practiced consistently. Trust compounds when you keep your promises. Relationships compound through years of genuine connection. Reputation compounds every time you deliver value. And creative work compounds every time you publish something that continues helping people long after you made it. The internet has created an extraordinary opportunity. For the first time in history, an ordinary person can create an asset with nothing more than a laptop and an internet connection. A thoughtful article can be read thousands of times. A useful video can continue attracting viewers for years. A simple template can save someone hours of work. A digital product can generate value while you sleep. These are not just pieces of content. They are assets. Unlike knowledge stored only in your mind, assets continue working even when you are not. The tragedy is that many people spend years preparing to create, but never actually create. They wait until they know enough. They wait until they have better equipment. They wait until they feel more confident. They wait for the perfect opportunity. Meanwhile, someone with half the knowledge but twice the courage starts building. They publish imperfect work, receive feedback, improve a little every week, and slowly build something that becomes impossible to ignore. Perfection rarely creates momentum. Consistency does. This is why successful builders ask different questions. Most people ask, what should I learn next? Builders ask, what can I create with what I already know? That single shift changes everything. Instead of endlessly consuming information, they begin converting ideas into assets. One article becomes 5 social media posts. One podcast becomes a newsletter. One framework becomes a workshop. One lesson becomes a digital product. Every piece of work strengthens the next one. Instead of starting from zero each day, they build on what already exists. Before you spend another hour searching for the next productivity hack or the newest AI tool, pause and ask yourself 3 simple questions. Can I explain this idea clearly to someone else? Can I build something useful from it today? Will my future self benefit from creating this now? If the answer to all 3 questions is no, perhaps you don't need more information. Perhaps you need more implementation. Because projects create experience. Experience creates insight. Insight creates confidence. Confidence creates opportunities. And opportunities, repeated over time, create freedom. The people we admire are rarely those who consume the most information. They are the people who consistently turned ideas into reality. They wrote the book instead of only reading books. They built the business instead of endlessly studying entrepreneurship. They launched the product instead of perfecting another plan. Their success wasn't the result of a single brilliant moment. It was the result of thousands of small decisions, repeated patiently over many years. So here's a different question to carry with you today. Don't ask yourself, what should I learn next? Ask yourself, what can I build today that will still create value 5 years from now? That question shifts your attention from consumption to creation, from short-term excitement to long-term impact, and from collecting knowledge to building assets. Your future won't be defined by the number of books you've read, the number of courses you've completed, or the number of AI tools you've mastered. It will be defined by what you choose to create, what you continue to improve, and what you allow to compound over time. Because in the end, wealth is not built by knowing more. It is built by creating more value. Success is not built by consuming information. It is built by transforming ideas into assets that continue working long after you've finished creating them. If this way of thinking resonates with you, welcome to Compound Mind 500. Every week, we'll explore timeless ideas about wealth, business, mental models, ownership, leverage, and the extraordinary power of compounding. Not because they're trendy, but because they're principles that remain true no matter how the world changes.